the Elevated Look Show, hosted by Mark Stampfly.
Teo, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Glad to have you on today.
Thanks for having me.
Are you 100% Armenian?
I'm 100% Armenian.
100% Armenian.
100% Armenian. I'm from Iran.
Oh, really?
So there's Armenians scattered all over the world. The actual country Armenia is part of Eastern Europe, right next to Russia. So I wasn't born there, and a lot of Armenians are not born there. They're kind of scattered. I was born in Tehran.
Oh,
and then we left Iran in 1986.
Okay.
Yeah, we left during the war between Iran and Iraq.
Oh, okay. So is that why it was kind of getting scary out there? And
Yeah.
you
So
wanted
basically, we had the war between Iran and Iraq. So Iraq was bombing Iran, and obviously, I think it was oil or something, whatever the issue was. And then, and at age 14, they were drafting you already. They needed soldiers.
Okay.
And my parents were like, "Oh hell no, we're not doing this. We're
Yeah.
leaving the country." So they took me out at 12.
Okay.
Before getting drafted.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
No, I don't have any siblings. I'm an only child. And then we went to Germany
Oh.
to become refugees.
So you came to Germany first before you came to America?
US. Yeah. We were in Germany between 86 and 88.
Okay.
And then came to US in 88. The reason we went to Germany is because there's some sort of I don't know if it's a United Nations agreement, but there's some sort of an agreement between a lot of the countries in Europe where every few years or so they take immigrants from all over the world.
Okay.
So, like for example, Germany has done that. Spain has done that. Greece. I think a lot of people are coming from, or some people are coming from Austria today.
Okay.
So they take refugees, they interview you, why did you leave your country? What's the problem, you know? And then you're like, well, I'm Armenian, I'm Christian. They don't allow us to practice our Christianity. It's an Islamic country. And so that was one of the main reasons. And then that's the German government will listen to that.
Okay.
And then eventually you're gonna have to go and talk to the US government, basically their embassy, I guess.
Do they kind of mediate that for you once you're in Germany?
Yeah. Everything is done. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the U.S. Embassy, or they have a judge that listens to you. Why do you want to go to U.S.? Well, I have relatives over there. Who's going to sponsor you? So and so. Let me see the paperwork. So there's a process.
So how did you? What was your guys' reasoning?
Christianity.
Christianity to practice your religion.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's one of the main ones.
Okay.
That.
So is your family all here right now?
Yes, my parents are here. We all came here in '88.
And you guys came to California?
We came.
Oh,
Glendale, because that's where all the Armenians are.
That's true.
You just go where all the Armenians are.
That is true. That has to be probably the #1 city, right?
Yes.
Is it? You would know. Probably.
Yeah, there's a large population of Armenians in Glendale.
Yeah.
And then there's Burbank. There's some in Pasadena.
Encino?
Persians are in Encino.
Persians more.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of background, and I just went to junior high here, and then high school, and then eventually college, and
Okay.
I had to go to school. If you don't go to school, your Armenian parents will kick you out of the house. You got to have some sort of an education, you know what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're big on education.
And Persians too, they're the same, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The standard that your parents hold you is it's extremely high.
Was there any pressure on going into a certain field, or did they?
Generally, they want you to be a doctor or a lawyer or a engineer, or you know, that's the norm. But you know, as long as you have education, I think they're happy.
And what did you study?
I studied. So I went into kind of a health science field. I did X-ray. I mean, in college.
Okay.
I studied X-ray, and then I worked for like a year, and then I was like, you know what, I want to study something else. So I went back to school for ultrasound.
Okay.
And then I did ultrasound, and then I've been doing ultrasound for 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
I like it.
Do you like?
I like it. You're more involved with ultrasound because
Okay.
you call the shots a little more, whereas an X-ray is taking a photograph.
Sure.
And then the doctor reads it. Whereas as an ultrasound tech, you are finding stuff, and then the doctors actually rely on you. Hey, what did you see? Did you find this or what? You know, so you write the report, you show them your findings, and
Very cool.
It's a little more involved, you know what I
Okay.
mean? More responsibilities.
That's nice too, yeah, because it kind of keeps you more engaged
Yeah,
with the
so
profession.
I've been doing that, work at a local hospital
Very cool.
as well, so.
Well, I know you're a big fitness guy, kind of health nut.
Yeah.
Who also happens to be have type 1 diabetes.
Yep.
Which I don't really know. Like, you've had it for. You look really good for your age, by the way. Let me
Thank
just
you.
say that. You're in incredible shape. I know that. So that's great. How did I know a little bit about type 1 diabetes.
Right.
Like, when did you get diagnosed for type 1 diabetes, and can you tell me a little bit about that journey?
So type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. Your average person doesn't know the differences between type 1 or type 2. They just know the word diabetes. And when you hear the word, oh my God, did you eat a lot of sugar? Is that why
Yeah.
you became diabetic? No, that's not the case. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune diabetes. Your body attacks the cells that produce insulin, and you are no longer producing insulin, which eventually you're going to have to start taking insulin shots.
Okay.
I was diagnosed in 1999, December of 1999 to be exact,
Okay.
with type 1 diabetes.
Do you think you had it longer than that?
No,
Or
I
do you
think
that's
I think I had it for about a month and a half.
really?
I had symptoms. I was frequent urination, thirst, weight loss. All of a sudden, I started losing weight.
okay.
All that, and I went to the doctor. When they checked my fasting blood sugar, was very high. So, and then you go for more tests, and eventually they can see whether you're type 1 or type 2.
Okay.
But in my case, being a slim person and not being bad with my diet, they already knew most likely I'll be type 1, but they're gonna have to do some blood work to confirm that.
Okay.
So then after I became type 1, I heard the news, which is it's a life journey. I compare it to cancer, to be honest with
Really?
you. Imagine having cancer for the rest of your life, okay? You can control the cancer with medications, but the cancer will never go away. And if you stop doing your diet portion or the medication, the cancer will take over your body,
Get very
slowly
serious.
slowly kill you and eventually destroy you.
Okay.
That's what diabetes is in general, and that's what type 1 is. So in order for you to control type 1, you have to study your carb count,
Okay.
which is why I'm into the nutrition aspect of it as
Yeah.
well.
Did getting diagnosed for type 1 diabetes spur you more into
Yes.
that, or were you already kind of
No, it pushed me more into
Okay,
that.
yeah. Which would-
Especially carbs.
Okay.
You gotta know, if I'm eating a cup of rice, I know a cup of rice has about 45 grams of carbs.
Okay.
Okay. For me, that's 3 units of insulin. Okay. A banana is about 30 grams of carbs. That's 2 units of insulin. My ratio is 1 to 15. Everyone's different.
Okay.
Okay. 1 unit for every 15 grams of carbs. And in order for me to be able to enjoy the pasta, the rice, the bread, or whatever the case might be, I have to be knowledgeable about how much carbohydrates is in that. You can always look at the nutrition facts,
Okay.
but you also have to know that 1 apple is about 20 grams of carbs, depending on the size of the apple.
So is
Or-
there a certain limit on carbs that you have to restrict yourself to?
No,
Or?
as a type 1, you have no limitation.
Oh, okay. Well,
Just
that's-
like you.
Okay.
I can eat as much as I want. That's
Okay.
the beauty of it. As
that's
long as you give yourself insulin and your blood sugar is managed well, because you can also check your blood sugar, make sure before eating that meal, after that meal, it's within normal limits.
Okay.
Then you've done it the right way.
Okay.
And what's nice is if your blood sugar goes up, you have the luxury of using insulin to make corrections. You give yourself a couple units and it brings it down. It breaks down the sugar
Okay.
to bring it down to normal limit.
Interesting.
So and if you don't control it, then eventually you will develop complications. You cannot get out of it. It's a silent killer for a reason.
Okay.
Okay, they call it. Kind of like hypertension is a silent killer as well. So if you don't take care of your diabetes, your blood sugar will rise. Okay, it'll be high. And then the high blood sugar will cause plaque in the arteries.
Okay.
And eventually, what goes first are your capillaries, the smaller blood vessels. Okay? And then you can develop kidney failure from it. You can have your limbs. There's bad circulation in your limbs.
heard
They
about
start
that,
chopping
yeah.
off your toes. You can go blind. I mean, your whole body is supplied with blood.
Yeah,
So
just cutting everything
imagine.
off.
So it just
Yeah.
So it can kill you. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So if you don't manage it, slowly it will
extremely
destroy
fatal.
you.
So when you say manage it or control it,
Mm-hmm.
are you talking predominantly about taking that insulin shot every
Yes.
day, or are there other things, because obviously health became a huge part of your life after that?
Yes.
Like what is like the major part is just making sure you get your insulin shot every day?
Correct.
It's just one shot a day, or
No, you take it anytime you eat carbohydrates.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm eating 6 meals a day, I'm taking insulin shots 6 times a day.
Okay.
And I'm also checking my blood sugar multiple times throughout this. So before and after every meal to make sure that it covered, I did it the right way.
And if it didn't,
Now, if it didn't, I'll do the corrections. If it drops too low, then I'll start shaking. I can feel my blood sugar is
Really?
dropping. So
Okay.
I'll down a juice.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's too high, then I'll correct it with more insulin.
Okay.
But I don't do it the old way where you prick your finger and you do the needles. I have an insulin pump on me attached.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I can adjust that.
very cool.
And I also have another device called a Dexcom.
And that's always on you.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So there's some stuff that I attach them on myself.
I didn't know
So
about that.
yeah. So it's
Okay.
kind of the latest technology.
Oh, very cool.
So an insulin pump, this one that I have on me right now, which is by Medtronic. So right there, I will dial in how many units of insulin I want.
Wow,
And then I
impressive.
push it, and as you can see, this tubing goes and eventually is attached to my body,
Okay.
like subcutaneous.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
right under
that's
the
really
skin,
cool.
it'll give me however units of insulin.
you can
that I-
completely control exactly.
Yeah.
That makes things pretty easy. Is that something that anyone, like, is that covered through your healthcare, or is
Yeah.
that something like you just have to pay out of pocket and go?
So this pump, I just got it back in October of last year, I think.
Okay.
It's a $10,000 unit.
Okay.
And my portion was $1,200.
Oh, that's not
So the rest
too
of it,
bad.
yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Fair.
So the rest of it, the insurance company covers it. I have my other, so that will give me insulin. Okay. I have another unit that is attached on me. It's called Dexcom.
Okay.
And basically that checks my blood sugar every 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, it's a hairline sensor that goes under your skin, and it picks up what's called a plasma fluid, and then it checks my blood sugar every 5 minutes and sends it to my phone.
Wow.
So I'll know what my blood sugar is.
And it'll give you a warning if it drops,
Correct. Or if it's high.
or if it's too high.
Yeah. It will, like, there's an alarm.
And is that also a newer technology?
Yes, it's been around for about 3 years, I think.
Okay.
3-4 years, maybe. Nick Jonas is a type 1 diabetic as well,
didn't know that.
and he was advertising spokesman for Dexcom at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
It was one of the commercials.
Oh, very cool.
So he's got this attached. It's a nice thing, not because the best way to manage your diabetes is to check your blood sugar often throughout the day.
Okay.
Like literally prick yourself 8 to 10 times a day.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when you have this, it makes it a lot easier.
A lot easier.
Yeah. But you still have to be knowledgeable. You can give
Yeah.
you all the fancy technology. If you're not going to take care of it, you're still going to develop complications.
And now that you have those, and even just through some of your fitness knowledge and nutrition knowledge that you've kind of developed over the years, is it more is it better? Are you a lot better off now? Is it about the same? Is it just about kind of hitting that main line, or can you make improvements where it's not as bad for you?
I think I'm pretty good at where I am, to be honest with you. And the reason I kind of went into a little deeper besides the carb count,
Okay.
more into what are called macros, which is basically your carbs, your fats, and your protein intake daily, and also knowing the calorie count, is because kind of your type 1 diabetes kind of pushes you that way, and you start learning, and then in order for you, if you have a fitness goal, either putting on weight or losing weight, you're gonna have to work with calories, because it's calories in versus calories out.
Okay.
And what often annoys me that you have seen me on my Instagram,
Yeah.
where I say all these comments is social media is misinforming the average person a lot. Okay, so everyone's talking about don't eat carbs, you're gonna get fat, or do intermittent fasting. Don't eat when you wake up for the first 8 hours.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter. At the end
Okay.
of the day, is the number of calories you consume, whether it's from carbs, fat, or protein. If you're supposed to consume 1,500 calories a day, it doesn't matter if you eat it before sleeping or if you eat it when you first wake up. You're gonna have to meet that number. And once you meet that number and you take out more than you have consumed for the day, or you're in what's called a deficit, then that's when you're gonna drop body fat. And that's what a lot of people don't know. And obviously everyone's looking for the shortcut, and there is no shortcut.
Yeah. At least from my experience, it seems like certain diets benefit different people. You know, it's different for each person. For me, I'm always the best when I actually do the intermittent fasting.
Okay.
I just feel better. I just feel better.
Right.
I'm not saying you shouldn't. Maybe I'm probably eating the same amount of calories as I would, like you said. Or maybe I'm eating less, and that's forcing me to go into a deficit.
Yes.
That's probably what's happening. But I just feel like, for me, I just feel better when I'm doing the intermittent fasting, and I'm trying to get more back into that as summer's coming. We're all trying to work on our summer bodies and get back there. When I've been in the best shape, it's been doing intermittent fasting and having like a light lunch, having like a regular sized dinner, and then I will break from after that dinner for probably 12 to 14 hours before I eat again.
Okay.
And also I will try, if I have, sometimes I'm busy, but if schedule's not an issue, I'll do my workout either morning or like right around noon.
Right.
And I won't have anything until after that workout.
Got it.
I know for other people, they don't like to work out. I think you work out, but you have some food before you work out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I eat right before.
Right before you work out?
Yeah, I get up at 6:30 a.m. My go-to pre-workout meal is oats.
Okay.
Have you heard of PB2?
PB2.
It's like a
peanut butter?
Yeah,
Is it like
powder.
it's a
the
powder.
powder peanut butter.
no, I haven't seen
So they
that.
take out the fat
Okay.
from the peanut butter, because peanut butter is something some people who want to lose weight should not be consuming. It's extremely high in calories, and it's just
And sugar?
You can but it's just calories in general.
Okay.
The fat, because it's very
Gotcha.
fattening, so it's high in calories.
Okay.
So they just keep and you can't stop. You
Yeah.
just want to eat that
Very
almond
good.
butter or the peanut butter, So I'll put the PB2 on there along with the oats, and then a little bit of unsweetened almond milk.
Okay.
And then protein powder. Mix it all up. Take it down. Within 30 minutes, I'm warming up already on the bike.
Okay,
Yeah.
so two questions on just to this PB2. Where can people get this?
Amazon.
Amazon.com.
It's called either a PB2 or PB Fit.
Okay.
Amazon. Yeah, I ordered
And
from Amazon.
then your protein powder,
Yeah.
because there's so many different ones.
Yes.
And you're taking that before, because a lot of people take like the protein after the
Right.
workout to kind of help the muscles recover faster. You're taking it before, and is there a certain kind you're taking before?
I get it from a store by me, but one of the good ones, to be honest with you, it's by Omni Nutrition, I think.
Okay.
Omni, right? Is
I
that
know
what it's called?
there is Omni Nutrition.
Yeah,
brand,
like their protein powder is pretty good. I think they have
Okay.
them at Costco too. That's not the one I'm taking, but that's a pretty good one.
Okay.
I think Isolate Whey is part of one of the good ones
Mm-hmm.
because the absorption is really good. So the reason I take protein before working out is because I've been sleeping for about 7-8 hours.
Okay.
So I've been fasting.
Okay.
And in order for me to work out, I need some carbs and protein in my system.
Okay.
I haven't had a meal yet.
Gotcha.
That's that. And I want something that's going to absorb really fast in my system, which is why I take a protein powder.
Okay.
I rather take that versus like a chicken breast. You know what I mean? Or even eggs.
Yeah.
Because I want really fast absorption, so
Okay.
I'll take that.
That makes sense.
Because as I'm working out, I'm tearing muscle fiber.
Yeah.
And that protein is being absorbed in my body and is repairing as I'm working out for the next hour and a half.
Okay. So what are your thoughts then on pre-workout?
Like the actual powder
Yeah, like the
pre-workout?
pre-workout
I don't
powder.
take them. I don't take them.
You don't take them, but
No.
what do you think about? Do you think it's?
I think
they're
it's
helpful?
unnecessary.
You think it's just completely unnecessary?
Yeah, I think it's unnecessary. I do coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down for
That's what I was saying.
caffeine. Like regular coffee
Yeah.
is the ideal pre-workout. But all these other pre-workouts, they have just like fillers and stuff. It's just, I don't know if it's good or bad, or I just don't waste my money on
Don't
that.
waste your money and just keep it. I use the pre-workout, but I know that there's just a lot of extra stuff in there. So, but part of me is just so, you know what I like about it too, because like people think, yeah, pre-workout, you're gonna like, you're gonna get muscles overnight. That's not necessarily true. The reason I use pre-workout is kind of the same reason you're using coffee. Is I just like that caffeine kind of focus that it gives me.
Yes.
That's really the only reason.
Yes.
I'm not trying to, the creatine and that kind of stuff. I don't really care so much about, but it's just getting that energy boost, just so you can focus and kind of tune in a little bit.
It works. It works for
better.
people. It gives them energy. It gets them motivated to work out. And I'm totally for it. I'm even okay with intermittent fasting. I'm fine with that. As long as you know the basics, that this is the calories you need to hit. I don't care if you do keto, you do a carnivore diet. I don't really care. Just this is what you need to do. And for you to lose body fat, just know that you're gonna lose half a pound to a pound a week. There is no shortcuts. That's what people don't understand. That's what social media is trying to tell people, like, there is a shortcut, there's a better way. No, there is no better way. You want to lose 10 pounds? If you're really good at counting your calories, 10 weeks. If you want 15 pounds, 15 weeks. Why? Because in order for you to lose 1 pound of fat, you have to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit weekly. That's not a joke. So if someone comes and tells me, oh, I lost 3 pounds this week, so you were in a 10,500 calorie deficit? No, I don't know. Well, you didn't lose 3 pounds. It's
probably mostly water weight, right?
Exactly. You lost water weight. And and then we can go to keto diet right now, which is a lot
That's
of
a big thing, right?
It's been the big thing, kills me. But anyway, so people are like, oh my God, I know my friend lost 10 pounds in 1 week, did the keto. Your friend lost water weight. What do you mean? Well, so when you are eating carbohydrates, they get stored in your muscle. So 1 gram of carbs holds 3 grams of water. So 1 gram of glycogen holds 3 grams of water in your muscle. When you're keto, your glycogen comes out, right? So there is no more water being stored in your muscles. And water obviously weighs a lot, right? So they lost water weight this whole week. They did not lose body fat.
It's a big difference.
They lost weight, but it was not body fat. That's what people don't understand.
And that can be kind of dangerous too, right? I mean, if you're losing too much.
Yes, the thing about keto is you can crash your car, you can faint, you can't, because you need sugar for brain to function. And when people go on keto, and again, the other thing that I understand is they need to consume less than 50 grams a day of carbohydrates to be in the...
It's hard for a lot of people.
To pee out the ketones, and it doesn't get activated until 72 hours later after you start. You go low carb today or keto today, nothing is happening. You got to do that for 72 hours. And a lot of people don't weigh their food, right? To know the calories, the carbs they're consuming, and they want to use keto. It's like, bro, you got to be less than 50 grams of carbs a day. Did you weigh your food? No, I didn't. Cool, congratulations. You were not in ketosis.
Because you're entering ketosis after that, like 72 hours, right? And how,
and if you mess up, let's say that you're good for 3 days, and then the fourth day, you ate more than 50 grams of carbs, reset. Start all over again.
So you have to be really disciplined to do that diet.
That's why people open their mouth and they talk to me. I get really frustrated. I go 0 to 200 really fast, and being an Armenian doesn't help either. I'm like, no. You got to understand the science. You know? So.
Definitely. Interesting. Yeah, that's good knowledge. What would you say then? We have summer coming up, and everyone wants to get their summer body. What would you say then are some like actual real tips for people starting now? The average person starting now who isn't the fitness expert, but they're like, you know what? I want to take things serious. I want to get in shape for the summer. What would you tell them? What's like maybe a few tips and tricks you tell these people?
I would say understand the knowledge of nutrition labels, although they lie, but at least pay attention nutrition labels. Look at calorie counts. download MyFitnessPal app, weigh your food, put it in there, pay attention to that stuff. Because I was at a friend's barbecue a few weeks ago, and the patties that he bought from Costco, each patty had 320 calories.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, bro, you're eating it, you want to lose body fat, and you're eating, these are 320 calories. If your goal is to consume, let's say 1,500 a day, 320 without anything, it's already done, like out of that 1,500, you know what I mean? Pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, like I see often like a lot of burgers they sell at restaurants. I mean, you're already at that like 1,000 to 1,500 for the whole burger,
Yes.
which is crazy.
Yes. The other thing I recommend is cook your own meals at home. That will help with your reducing, for your calories to be dropped and eventually reducing body fat. The other thing is don't go cold turkey. Don't eat salad and be like, oh, tomorrow I'm starting with salad and vegetables. Ugh. Why?
Yeah.
You can eat French toast, and you've seen me eat my French toast every morning, and still lose body fat, and be, chiseled, you know what I mean? Be, or what the girls want to say, toned.
Yeah.
Every other girl wants to be toned. But anyways, yeah. So if you were eating pizza from Domino's Pizza, make your own pizza. Okay. Get a flat bread that has only 100 calories. And then start putting your pizza on there, your cheese. And if you're gonna put mozzarella cheese, put it on a scale. Don't just pinch it out like this and throw it on there. It's one of the worst things you can eat, a cheese where it's very high in fat. I'm not saying don't eat it. I'm saying eat one serving of it. And it says in the label in the back, one serving weighs this much on a scale. Take out one serving.
Yeah, so you were you are a club promoter for Elevate Lounge.
Yes.
I met you there before.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Our audience is into entertainment and marketing and that kind of intersection coming together, and that's kind of what you were doing.
Yeah, so basically, the way it started for me is I used to go to Takami Sushi a lot. You've heard of Takami, right?
I love Takami. That's one of my favorite sushi spots in all of
exactly.
Los Angeles.
In fact, I was there last night.
Oh, nice.
I was
I'm
there
jealous.
last night. Yeah. I love that place.
And they have the real wasabi, which I like.
Yes.
You can't find that, and like even I
know
Nobu, right? I don't even know if they're really handing that out.
I
to
always
everybody.
like as soon as that comes, I tell people I'm like, you might if they like wasabi because I don't eat wasabi. I'm like, go ahead and try this. What is that? I'm like, it's real wasabi, like the liquid, and they love it. It's really, really good. Yeah. But anyway, so I used to go there often since 2007, 2008. I got to know the owners of the venue.
Okay.
And as you know, Takami Elevate is on the 21st floor of this building in downtown LA, and it's 12,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's huge.
Half of it is Takami, the other half is Elevate. So I would go and eat dinner with my coworkers from the hospital.
Okay.
I would suggest, hey, I know this place, I got good connections and stuff. We would go there, and then we'd go to the club afterwards. And we would do that on once a month or a couple times a month. And then, so the management saw that I'm bringing a crowd with me every time I would come, or people, you know what I mean?
When you say a crowd, how many people are we talking?
Like maybe max 10 people, 10 or less.
Okay.
Yeah. And they knew I work at a big institution with a lot of professionals, and it's an upscale venue, as you know that.
Yeah.
So they prefer to have upscale people, educated people to come through that venue to keep it, upscale.
Keep the level, yeah.
Keep the level, yeah. So, and then they approached me one day and they said, how about if you bring people from the hospital like you are right now, and we'll pay you.
When you say they approached you,
Management.
The management of, and Takami and Elevate is owned by the same group?
Same owners.
Same owners.
Yeah, same owners, and also the same owner as 71 Above. In downtown LA, US Bank building. They're all the same owners.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, so the manager from the club side approached me, and he goes, you bring good people here, and you work at a big institution, a lot of professionals, you want to keep bringing people, and we'll pay you. And I was like, ooh, that sounds a little challenging now. Because before, you casually say, hey, you guys want to go out tonight? But now it's like, we need to go out tonight. I got to make money.
You gotta hit that
I got to
number.
deliver the numbers,
Was there a certain number early on they told you to hit?
Yes, 5 to 10 people.
Oh, okay.
But
it doesn't sound like a lot, but it can be a lot.
It can be a lot to do it every
especially in LA,
weekend,
where
especially in
everyone's
LA.
flaking.
Yeah, exactly. So that 5 to 10 people eventually turn out to 100 every weekend.
Wow.
I was averaging 100 people every weekend.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. And the reason it picked up for me is obviously it didn't turn out overnight. You know,
Sure.
I was there for almost 9 years, 2011 until February of 2020.
Okay.
So COVID
Right
happened.
before?
Yeah,
Yep.
right before. And the reason it kind of obviously slowly picked up for me and I was averaging about 100 people is the one thing that you know about nightlife is it's a very superficial scene. Okay,
Yes.
people say one thing, but they don't deliver it. Oh yeah, come, your bottle's gonna be $600. Next thing you know, you're dropping $1,200.
Sure.
Oh, I'll get all 5 of you in for free.
Oh, only girls.
Only girls, exactly. Or so-and-so said to drop name. I don't know who that person is, right?
Yeah.
So when Teo came in and he's delivering everything, including the location of the tables, like I want to be by the dance floor, I've been there, or I want to be, all right, it will be this much, or that many bottles, da-da-da. I have 20 guests, no problem, you know? I'll get them all in for free. Just have them look for me. I'll take care of them. I started delivering, staying on my word. And then people were like, dude, this guy's legit. And then they started referring me to other people. Like
Okay.
that's a lot bigger than social media
Yeah,
posts.
the word of mouth.
The word of mouth just took over. It just blew up for me.
And those marketing through word of mouth, I think they're more solid referrals, versus something over social media or the internet.
I would get so many phone calls, so many text messages throughout the week. People wanted to do events. Holiday parties came. I started doing events.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So it just blew up, and it was nice. It was nice. I got to know a lot of good people, lots of good people, including yourself.
Yeah, I've always liked that establishment. Was there something that kind of clicked? Like you said, you were there 9 years. You started bringing 5 to 10, but it grew up to about an average of 100, which is pretty massive. I don't know what the norm is in that world, but that seems on the very high side.
Yeah.
Was there a certain thing that clicked? Like, was it just a gradual build and just like the word of mouth, or were there other things you were kind of doing along the way? Were you using social media? Like,
what
else
what's
was going
funny?
on?
I did was it kind of worked out. Was I would go on other clubs' Yelp reviews,
Okay.
and I would look at people's comments.
Okay.
Because again, the thing about Yelp and the club scene is it's not a legit review, right?
No.
You were not on point with your dress code. You got told they turn you away, and you write bad stuff because it was your fault. This is the dress code. You were supposed to. You wanted to walk in intoxicated. Security said no, so you put bad. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I wouldn't find those people. I would more focus on people who had bad experience as far as a true customer service. You know what I mean? And I would message those people on Yelp. Hey,
Okay.
I'm sorry you had bad experience with this venue. How about if you try this one? I work over here. I'll deliver it for you.
Yeah.
And then believe it or not, people started hitting me up from there. They were, because you can message on Yelp to other people. That, along with other social media, I guess I was hustling maybe. It's
Okay.
kind of some sort of a hustle right there.
But that's good. You were putting some work into it, and that's an interesting kind of way to go about it that I wouldn't have thought of.
I don't know. I did it and it worked out.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So these people were obviously, if you write a Yelp review or you've been to other venues, that means you like the nightlife scene. You want to try other places. So, and here I was. I'm like, oh, I'm over here. Why don't you guys come over here? I'll take care of you.
And now, was Elevate Lounge the only place you were doing promoting for, or have there been other ones where you've just kind of stuck to enough?
So I
Conflict
did
of interest, maybe, if you're doing another one. Or?
right. So in downtown I only did Elevate Lounge.
Okay.
I couldn't make it in Hollywood. Hollywood is a whole different animal.
How come?
Because you have to. I mean, people are gonna watch this and they're gonna hate them, but you gotta be a little more superficial.
Okay.
To make it in Hollywood, to be honest with you, you gotta.
When you say like you personally, like you have to bring a superficial persona.
Yes.
Or
Like you can't be real.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be
Okay.
like, oh, I have a table, come sit on my table, I can hook you up. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm not that person.
Gotcha.
I can't lie or make things look a lot better. I couldn't personally.
And it hurts your reputation in the long
will-
run.
yeah,
In
it'll
short
hurt.
run, you might get that number, but
Right.
then in the long term, you're not going to be, averaging that 100 people.
Exactly. So I couldn't. And then the other thing with Hollywood was when it came to bottle service, you couldn't squeeze in the number of people I was able to squeeze in at Elevate. You know what I mean? Or if it was like 5 dudes, I couldn't just sell them 1 bottle in Hollywood. You had to do
okay.
minimum 2 bottles, for example. You know
okay.
what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, they will look at the ratio. There was a lot more involved where I didn't want to put that pressure on people.
Yeah.
You know what I
gotcha.
mean? I'd rather take them somewhere where they can walk in. I have my own line actually at Elevate, my own dedicated line. They didn't have to wait in the other line. My line was like, you're going in immediately. And I had a lot more perks.
Okay.
And I could treat you a lot better. So instead of forcing you to buy more bottles
Yeah, that
Hollywood
makes
did not work for me. I did go to Hollywood. One of my good friends actually runs a Hollywood nightclub. It was he did multiple nightclubs. He did
Okay.
Supper Club,
Okay, yeah.
which was a big one.
Is that not around anymore?
No, it closed down many years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. After that, he did. God, I can't remember names. But yeah, he did multiple venues, and then I kind of tagged along with him.
It seemed like, here's the thing too, it's like in Hollywood, it seemed like a lot of those clubs, the turnover over like
Exactly.
5 years, it's why is that turnover so? Because like Elevate's been a strong, I think maybe they've remodeled and kind of rebranded occasionally over the years, but it's been like a pretty solid, steady club. It's never, maybe the pandemic hurt it, but like in Hollywood, it seemed like it was always like, if you look back 5 years, completely different clubs probably than there are today.
Right. The reason for that is because when a club opens in Hollywood, you have your upscale, whatever that means,
Yeah.
clientele for about a year in there. Okay.
Because it's like the new hot thing.
That's the new hot
Yeah.
thing, right? So you can't not too many people can get in unless you belong to a certain category, okay? And after a year, those people, they kind of get tired and they move somewhere else. And the club owner starts bringing other types of clientele in, right? So that they can survive.
Sure.
And then a couple years after that, they're like, you know what? They don't want that. They want to kind of shut it down, rename it, do a tiny remodel, and then start again with the upscale people.
I see.
And that's the reason why Hollywood keeps turning.
So are the
turnaround.
owners of most of these clubs the same? They're just rebranding
Yes.
it constantly? Oh,
Yep.
okay. That makes more sense
Yep.
then. Yeah.
Some of them are the same actually, yeah.
Okay.
They just rebrand them.
And then, being in that world for so long, like you've been there for, you said 9 years?
Yeah.
What kind of keeps you going in that world? Like, you said you met a lot of great people through
Yeah.
there, but I'm kind of curious to hear more like, you must like it.
I did. I loved the people. I loved the lights.
Okay.
I loved the drinks.
Okay.
The whole energy, the atmosphere, the music. I love that scene. But the thing about me and that scene is I'm not in the middle of the scene. I'm always on the outskirts of the scene of pretty much every club I go to.
What do you mean by
Like
that?
I am not in the middle fist pumping.
Sure.
I rather grab my glass of whiskey, stand to the side, and just kind of watch the crowd and
Okay.
listen to the music and enjoy the lights and the whole atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't really part of the craziness,
Gotcha.
which again
Probably helped you survive in that.
exactly,
in that
because you
industry for as
can't
long
just
as it-
party like every weekend.
Yeah.
You got to be there, a couple of drinks, mingle with your clients, take care of business, go home, repeat the next
Get a
night,
nice night's
repeat the
sleep.
next
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah, because you cannot be hungover like every weekend.
Yeah.
So you got to find that balance, and I was
Okay.
able to find that balance.
Okay. Very cool.
to survive. Yeah.
And now you are doing a lot of things. You're kind of just starting to build your social media more. I know you're doing like a TikTok now.
Yeah.
What kind of brought that on? Where do you see that going? Is that something you want to, you were telling me earlier off camera that you want to, start YouTube.
Yeah.
What do you want to do in those spaces? And,
So the way I talk on my Instagram about nutrition and fitness, people are liking it.
Okay.
Where I'm very straightforward. There is nothing, I don't talk about any special diet per se, you know what I mean? It's, and then they lack the knowledge that I have. So some of the people on my social media platform, they have been recommending that I should get on YouTube and spread the word even more because it's you can make longer videos, obviously, right? So, and they've been saying that for years.
Okay.
And I'm like,
what's held you back?
I think YouTube is a different animal. It's not that easy if you want to do it the right way.
A little bit more work has to go into it.
Yes, a little more work involved in it. So I've been kind of slowly trying to tell myself, you need to get on it. And now I'm ready to get on it.
And would you be like the Armenian fitness guy, the diabetes expert?
I'm going to be type 1 diabetic.
Okay.
Type 1 diabetic guy who obviously, compared to a normal person such as yourself, whose pancreas is working, I have limitations. But yet, if you compare me at age, I'll be 47 in September, I probably don't want to brag about myself, but you know what I mean?
I walked
into a pool
26,
party, exactly. Exactly. I'll walk in a pool party. I'm going to look better than these people.
Yeah.
That's where
it's really impressive.
I want to, thank you. I want to spread the word. Like, this is the formula. This is what you do.
You're even, with those limitations, able to be that age and be in better shape than somebody 20 years younger than you. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
And I think, what would be great, I think you've probably already helped a lot of people. And I think that they're, and possibly even saving some people's lives, and because a lot of people don't know, or don't take, diabetes as serious as they should.
No, I get when I see people outside actually, like after I post stuff on Instagram and talk about stuff, they actually comment, "Oh my God, I tried your French toast," or "I love this recipe or that recipe you made." You know what I mean? So people are doing the stuff that actually I promote, which is interesting. But they don't comment it. They don't tell me, "Oh, I tried your recipe." You know what I mean? I'm like, say it. We need it. I need it. Yeah.
Give me the validation.
Yeah.
Say thank you again for coming on for the interview.
Of course.
I think we've learned a lot. I think even some of the information you shared is going to be really helpful to people either who have type 1 diabetes or who are just on their own fitness journeys and have maybe even grasp one nugget of knowledge that they'll either apply or look into more. And then they can get that, summer body that they're trying to get.
It's not that difficult. It's consistency. I think it's just you need your brain to take over your body. You know what I mean? Once your brain takes over, then you're good to go. But people don't have, like today, Sunday, people work really hard throughout the week. They were in caloric deficit all week. Sunday comes, pounding mimosas.
Yep.
And they reset everything that they have burned throughout the week. Monday all over again, and they wonder why they don't lose any body fat.
That is
discipline.
Very true.
Discipline.
Very good point. Yep. And the discipline isn't like the discipline is a lot longer. I think through that statement, the discipline is a lot longer than what people think. It's just like you can't, even if you are amazing with your diet Monday through Friday, if you then binge on the weekend, you're gonna you could possibly have wasted all that. All those 5 days, or even in one day, wasted all those 5 days.
Exactly. Exactly. So you just have to stick to it and make it a lifestyle. That's what people forget. They think it's temporary. No, it's not temporary.
That's it for this week's episode. Thanks for watching the Elevated Look Show, and we would really, really appreciate if you leave a review and subscribe.